Good morning. It's the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, Pastor Josh Pardee is going to be with us from Hopevale to talk a little bit about the holiday season. Open phones at 11 on Focus this morning, but for this hour, we're going to learn about an organization and an event coming up from a very special guest. She is the regent for the Daughters of the American Revolution chapter in Midland, which is the John Alden chapter, and we say good morning to Julia Lawless. Julia, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us this morning. I think a little history's in order before we get to the nitty-gritty here, but the DAR has been around a long time,
yes.
And the chapter in Midland, if I read it right, has been around since the late 1800s?
1922.
Oh, 1922. I thought I read 1890
No, not
someplace.
our chapter. That was when DAR
That
started.
was, okay. So your chapter's been around then for 103 years.
Yep.
It's been a while. Neither of us were there to see it. I'll get that out of the way. So the Daughters of the American Revolution, I mean, can you trace your ancestors to
Yep.
You can.
Yep. I have Robert Ricketts. He was a private in Pennsylvania. I don't know a lot about him. I do know later on he became kind of like the Texas Rangers in Missouri, that he was there to protect settlers after the Revolutionary War.
Law enforcement.
Yes. A lot of soldiers do that. So
Is it a requirement of the DAR that you trace descendancy?
yep, you have to have a direct lineage, so uncles and cousins don't count. So grandparent to grandparent to grandparent.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And brothers?
Brothers don't count. It has to be grandparent to grandparent.
Really?
It's amazing. There's a lot of people that qualify for the DAR. If you go into your lineage, if you start looking at your heritage, you'll be surprised how many qualify.
I mean, we all know about, 23andMe and Ancestry.com and all that. Does the DAR offer a service to help you trace your lineage?
There's a lot of registrars, the people that are in charge of getting the applications filled out. A lot of them are real genealogy nuts, and they can help you. So if you're interested, they won't do all the work for you, but they'll certainly get you started and give you some ideas.
So when did you know, at what point in your life did you realize that you had, first of all, a relative from the American Revolution?
So
Oh, there's a story I can tell.
my kids on their father's aunt had been pestering them to join the DAR because she was in the DAR.
So she knew the family.
But that was my husband's side, so I don't qualify.
So it's got to be direct.
Right.
There's no getting around it.
So my children joined using their great aunt's application, so it was pretty straightforward. And they said, well, we joined, you're going to have to join. Next thing I know, they find a patriot, and here I am.
So somebody else did the research for
Well,
you.
my children.
So it was your children that really got you involved. How
Yep.
long have you been involved?
Just 7 years now.
And the regent heads up the chapter?
Correct.
Did I read that right?
Yep. So we we work together. Sure, I head up the chapter. I'm in charge of the meetings, but we work together. That we have a lot of people, like this exhibit, we had all kinds of people that kind of took charge and took care of all the work.
So in the Midland chapter, how many members?
59 members
Whoa!
right now.
So there are a lot of descendants
Mm-hmm.
of the American Revolution.
Yeah,
Direct descendants, as you say.
There's a lot. I mean, like millions. I couldn't tell you how
I guess,
many.
but the part that puzzles me, I guess, is I understand the direct lineage, but why a husband and wife couldn't join, or you have to be the one. In order to be a member, you have to be the direct lineage.
Right, you have to be the direct lineage, correct. So the husband can join if he has a direct lineage. There's the Sons of the American Revolution, and there's Children of the American Revolution. So there's opportunities for men to join a similar organization.
And do you have a complete rundown of your lineage from your relative in the Revolution till now?
I I don't know a lot about them. I'm not really into genealogy. My kids can tell you probably a lot more because when they find something terrible, they're sure to tell me about it. So I mean, like, this relative,
scoundrel.
This relative fought in the, in the Civil War, but he was on the other side, kind of thing, and they'll be sure to point that kind of stuff out to me.
Lovely. So what? A typical chapter of the DAR. What happens? What do you do? Is it a service organization, or what is it like?
It's a service organization. We have 3 emphases: patriotism, education, and historic preservation. So almost everything we do is related to one of those things. We're involved with a VA hospital here to see what we can do to help veterans. We just Reach Across America. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
I've heard about it. I don't know much about it.
We started that. We supported Midland Cemetery in the past. This year we took Jerome Township Cemetery as our responsibility and laid 320 wreaths on the graves of veterans at Jerome Township Cemetery, and that's in Sanford. Also in Sanford in May, we posted a plaque on the trailhead there of the Pierre Marquette Trail that was honoring the patriots of the American Revolution. So there's a nice little plaque there on the trailhead.
So you're a Midland chapter. Are there Saginaw chapters and Bay City chapters? Are there other chapters around, or are you regional?
There's like 55 chapters or so in the state of Michigan. There is one that's Bay City and Saginaw. There's one that's Isabella. There's one Alma. I mean, there's chapters all around. You don't have to be a member of the chapter where you live, but it does make it a little bit easier to get to events and meetings.
Obviously. Well, you mentioned the word event, and there's a big one coming up, so I'm going to take a break, and we'll tease everybody and tell them about that. When we come back, we're talking to Julia Lawless. She is the regent for the John Alden Midland chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Happy holidays from
We're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Julia Lawless, who is the regent for the John Alden chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And going on now at the Midland Mall, you have a very special exhibit. Tell us about it.
It's a traveling exhibit that goes all over the U.S. It was designed originally by the Battlefields Trust, and Daughters of the American Revolution offered to make it into print. And this is how the exhibit was created. It travels from venue to venue. Usually they're museums and libraries. To our knowledge, this is the first time it was a mall, which worked out since we had the exhibit during Christmas. It worked out perfect. It doesn't tell you about the war itself. It's about the people of the war. It's about the decisions they had to make.
You know, it seems to me, excuse me for interrupting, but it seems to me that the Daughters of the American Revolution is about the people. It's all about the individuals, isn't it?
Yes, I agree with that completely. We don't really study the war. We study the people of the war. We have, some of us, go to book clubs, and it's about the people and not really about the war itself. But you'll hear stories when you're there. You'll read stories, and you can use an iPad to get further information. Some of the things are Harry Washington. He was a slave of George Washington, and he actually fought. He found his freedom, but he was fighting for the Loyalists because they were offering freedom to slaves to fight. Later on, the colonial people did that also, where they offered freedom. But the Loyalists were the first one to offer the freedom. Peggy Shippen Arnold. Arnold is probably a very familiar name. But she was a socialite, but she secretly was helping the cause for freedom and not the British side. That she was kind of an American spy, a colonial spy.
Had those back then too, huh?
Yeah. But it's 12 panels that you go through and you read about the stories. There's lots more information on the kiosk. There's only so much information you can put on a panel. But when you go and you look at the kiosks, there's a lot more information there. And it just tells you the choices they had to make. Are they going to fight for the loyalist side? Are they going to fight for the colonists? They have to make that decision which side they want to be on.
We should point out when you say loyalists, the reason they're called that is they were loyal to the king.
Right. They were loyal to King George.
They were the British side, so to speak.
So, but they have to make that decision. They have to make, so they go off to war, but they've left a family behind, and that's a bad way to be, that these women that they left behind, the families that they left behind, they're fending for themselves. And so how long can the men go out to battle? How long can they be gone from home?
You point that out. There were no women in battle, right?
Officially, there were no women.
Officially,
there were no women in battle. There were women that picked up arms to take care of
their homes and things of that nature. Yeah, I understand that, but no female went to war, so to speak. Technically,
I can't remember her first name, but there's a girl called Samson as a book, and she went to war. She was dressed as a man. They didn't realize she was a woman until some time had passed, that they just figured she was a boy.
Another guy.
Mm-hmm. So,
she really wanted to do it.
Yep.
She found a way, huh?
Yes, she did.
Now, would a descendant of hers count?
Yes, a descendant of hers would count. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. And your descendant is?
Robert Ricketts.
So what did he do? You said you don't know a lot about him?
No, I don't know a lot about what he did. I know a lot of members can tell you all kinds of stuff about what their patriot did, that they were in the Battle of Brandywine and, some of the other big famous battles, but I don't have any of that information.
Have you tried to research it?
Not a whole lot. I'm not into genealogy. I mean, it's just, going through pages and pages. I mean, I'm making it sound boring because it is to me.
No. I would do it only to make sure I wasn't representing a scoundrel. That's all.
But you don't even, to be in the Daughters of the American Revolution, the patriot doesn't even have to have been in battle. It could be somebody that supported the war and other causes. They supplied Valley Forge with food or clothing, or they paid taxes that supported the war effort. So there's a lot of ways to be.
Covers a whole big world, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Everybody north of the Mason-Dixon line, practically. That is really interesting. I never realized that there had to be a direct descendant. I mean, I knew the name of the organization. I've heard about it all my life, but never realized that there was that stringent a requirement for descendancy.
Yep, it's pretty stringent. I mean, you have to have proof. You can't just say, I'm a descendant. You have to show in census records or wills and probates. That you have to realize back in the 1800s they didn't have birth certificates, and so you're looking through all these pages of wills and probate and property deeds.
You got to really want to join, don't you? I mean, that's
so. Yeah, but you have to realize a lot of people, the work has already been done for them. That a lot of times you only have to prove the first couple of generations closest to you because the work has already been done, and that makes it nice.
Now, do you get help from the national? There is a national Daughters of the American Revolution, right?
Well, the help you'll come is either going to be from your local region or from a state. Very rarely does a national people have to get involved. That there's a lot of people that like genealogy that.
But as a local chapter, you're a member of the national organization?
Yep, we're a member of the national organization. The national organization brought us things like this exhibit that with matching funds that they were able to provide this exhibit to travel around the country. They're honoring Revolutionary War patriots. Lafayette recently has been a big deal. and did a lot of stuff over in France to honor him. And that's something else that a lot of the descendants of the American Revolution, they're actually in Europe. When you figure that, Lafayette's descendants,
Well,
all
yeah,
of those
because
people.
A lot of these people were immigrants to this country. that
Well,
fought
but then they went
for the
back
North.
after. But they went back after the war,
And some went back.
right?
Foolish loyalists.
I don't know. I really wonder. I really wonder what this country would have been like if we didn't have the Revolutionary War. I really wonder what the world would have been like if we didn't have the
Well,
Revolutionary
we'd probably
War.
all be Anglican.
Yeah, I mean, and would we still, have a king, and would we still,
Well, I would say, and this is just, my looking at it through my eyes, if we had lost the American Revolution, and who knows what would happen between then and now, but if we came under the king, we would still have a king because he's still there.
But he doesn't
England
have the.
still has a king and still has that monarchy form of government, if you will. And while he doesn't have all the power, that the Parliament has and all of that, most recently he exercised some of that power, and you come to find out he's got a lot more power than you think he has. And I would, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm glad we're not, don't get me wrong. But if we had lost that war, and assuming we didn't try it again, I have no doubt we'd probably be, maybe today, like Canada, we'd be more independent of the king, but still have one, still be a part of the Commonwealth, if you will. But glad it didn't go that way.
Well, and then look at all the other countries that had kings. That,
Well,
would they still have a king?
Well, but many do. Many do. Many don't. Yes, but I just the monarchy in Great Britain is probably, even though they've had their issues and their problems, it's probably one of the strongest there is.
Yep.
So it's not going anywhere. Not and the younger generation coming in, with William standing ready to take over for Charles when he passes. I think it's going to bring in a whole new enlightenment to the monarchy, because he's got a younger, much different perspective.
I agree with that completely.
And we don't have to live by it.
No.
Key, we don't have to live by it, but more power to them. I mean, listen, you choose your government and you live with what you got. Ask us, we know.
Yes.
So, all right, we're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to Julia Lawless. She is the regent for the Daughters of the American Revolution, the John Alden chapter in Midland, the big exhibit at the Midland Mall we'll talk more about when we return here on WSGW. Let me take a moment to talk about Quick Lane Freeland at McDonald Ford. Quick Lane Freeland is a great place to get your tires because they sell all tires at just $5 over cost. And there is a difference between winter tires and your all-season tires that you drive on every day. And the difference is how they're made. And to explain that, we have John from Quick Lane Freeland to talk about it.
Hello, Art. Yes, winter tires are made with a pliable rubber compound that includes silica to stay flexible and maintain grip in freezing temperatures. Unlike harder all-season tires, which stiffen and lose traction in the cold, this flexible compound allows the tire to better conform to the road surface, providing superior grip and traction on snow and ice to keep you safe.
Thanks, John. Stop in today to Quick Lane Freeland. Have them check out your tires. Also, with winter here, have them check out your cooling system. And don't forget to walk over to the McDonald Ford lot. Look at all the new Ford product available for you. And their pre-owned lot where they have vehicles for every price range for every budget. McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland, two names standing ready to help you with all your automotive needs. And they wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season.
Find what you love.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. My guest in studio, Julia Lawless. She is the regent for the John Alden chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution in Midland, Michigan, where there is an exhibit, the American Revolution Experience Traveling Exhibit. So let's, first of all, the Midland Mall is a big building. Where in the mall is it?
It's in a office space that says Bat Cave. If you go in the entrance where Alex's Railside Restaurant is and go down to where the stage and the Santa Claus is,
Okay.
off to the right there you'll see a Hallmark store, and we're right next to the Hallmark store.
And what are the hours?
The hours vary. We always open at 11. Some days we're 11 to 3, 11 to 5, and 11 to 7. We will be closed on Christmas Day, and that's the only day that we're closed.
And are there DAR members there to talk and answer questions?
There's DAR members there. We also partnered with the Midland Center for the Arts and the Midland Historical Society, and they often have members there also, which is really fun when it's a Midland Historical Society because they're all into history.
Any reenactors?
Reenactors are not part of the exhibit, but they are coming in periodically. There's several Scottish Highlanders reenactors that were actually fighting with the British. They were British mercenaries.
Scottish would be loyalists, I would think. Yeah.
And they make appearances whenever it's convenient for them. So it's always a surprise. Some of our members are dressed in costume and period costume. So there's a big variety.
Have you ever thought about that? Would you be a reenactor?
I bought some linen fabric with the idea of making a dress, but that's one of the other 50 projects that I have to do.
I recognize that. There was I had thought about the Civil War at one time, and I had a friend who has since passed. Fred Preby was probably one of the best Abraham Lincolns you ever saw. And not only did the River of Time up here, but worked in Dearborn at the Henry Ford. So he had credentials. And I hung around with him for a while, and he was close to talking me into it, but not quite. But I'm interested in the history. That part fascinates me, but I don't have the time for reenacting.
So when I lived in Pennsylvania, our neighbor was a sutler for the Civil War. So she was like supplier, and she made dresses by hand. When I go to make my dress, it's not going to be hand sewn. So it's not going to be that authentic. But she made.
Where in Pennsylvania were you?
We lived in a small town called Waynesboro, which was a little bit, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 miles west of Gettysburg.
My late wife was from Reading.
Oh, okay.
So I spent a lot of time there, that part of the world. It's a great place. Gettysburg, my problem with Gettysburg today is it's overrun. It's very hard to enjoy yourself there anymore because there's buses, people everywhere,
I guess go in the wintertime.
You're right. The only thing is the big display they have in the building that's really nice and kind of lays out the battlefield and everything. But it really is a shame some of those sites get so overrun you can't enjoy them.
The group that we're partnering with, the American Battlefield Trust, their whole goal is to save some of the battlefields. It's not just the Civil War. They started with the Civil War, and now they're actually trying to save some of the other battlefields where they can purchase the land and raise some of the buildings to make it look like it was back during that, back when that particular war was. So,
yeah, it's going to be get to the American Revolution. That's a project.
Yeah. Well, some of them, are already preserved, but not a lot. I mean, there's a lot of places.
And does the DAR have any plans for the 250th coming next year?
We have a lot of plans for the 250th. I'm not quite sure what the National's doing. our Midland chapter, we're trying to get a commission together so that we can do some events. I personally want to do a reading of the Declaration of Independence when it was originally read the first time to people on, like town crier kind of thing. I think that would be kind of an interesting thing to do.
I wanted to do that all my life. Wanted to do that literally all my life. I wanted to do that.
No, I think that would be a good thing. It's just, maybe at the county courthouse or something where you just read the whole.
Yeah. Once you get past the first quarter of it, it gets pretty boring and repetitive, but still, I mean, there's something about hearing those words. I've done with the symphony. I've done Lincoln's Portrait a couple of times, and it's always fun.
Yeah,
always fun, and you get a great response too. I mean, it's a stirring document. And then the Declaration of Independence is a special piece of paper.
It's lasted 200 years. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, particularly looking at the world today. But hopefully it's got another 200 in it. We'll take a break, come back, and conclude our conversations with Julia Lawless, who is the regent for the John Alden chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution in Midland. And the exhibit is called the American Revolution Experience, and it's at the Midland Mall. We'll repeat all the hours and all that for you when we come back.
Hi.
You have to have been a patriot, so but you can have a patriot on one side and a loyalist on the other side, and that's kind of what this exhibit is about, because you had to choose sides, and one brother may have chosen one side and the other brother chose the other side.
So let's talk about where this exhibit is, because originally it wasn't going to be in the mall. Because you said you'd applied how long ago?
Over 2 years ago, we applied for this exhibit, and we were waiting. We had already talked to the Midland Center for the Arts for a place to display it, because they have these kind of displays all the time.
Let me guess, a flood got in the way.
Partially, yes. And then you don't know when you're going to get it, and we got told we had it over the Christmas holidays. And the Midland Center for the Arts, it doesn't do a whole lot over the Christmas holidays, so we were looking for an alternate venue. Our library is affected by the flood. Right. It still has some construction going on. And we were getting kind of desperate trying to figure out where to go. We were thinking maybe one of the Bay City libraries or Saginaw libraries. And then someone suggested the Midland Mall. And we reached out to the Midland Mall, the Jordan Dice, and then the event coordinator, Sarah, I think her last name's Thomas. They came through and they offered us a storefront in the Midland Mall.
And boy, they charged us through the nose, didn't they?
No, there was absolutely no charge. They
gave it to you for free.
They gave it to us for free. The maintenance people have been very pleasant to work with little things that we needed changed. The Center for the Arts, it's a big facility, a big room, and the Center for the Arts brought in some black drapery to kind of enclose it off so that you didn't see all the junk in the back of the room.
Yeah,
makes it look a lot nicer.
That is really something. Well, I wanted to bring that up because Jordan Dice has been amazing so far, and I say so far because I don't think he's done. I mean, he's rehabbing and giving a rebirth almost to the Midland Mall. He bought St. Laurent Brothers, then he bought the State Theater in Bay City, now he's bought the Court Theater in Saginaw, and everything he touches seems to do well.
The Midland Mall, I think it's thriving. I'm surprised how
really
well
is
it's doing. He's brought in this 3-4-story play area that isn't open yet, but it's just a matter of licensing or
He's
inspections.
Turn it into a destination. More power to him.
He offered us this room at no charge. He's bringing in, they bring in vendors and craft shows all the time. They're going to do a Renaissance Festival next year at the mall. Comic-Con is going to continue. And like you said, it's a destination. It's something to bring people into the mall. They come into the mall for one thing, and then next thing you know, they're shopping there.
Well, it's a win-win because it's a win for the mall to get people in there, obviously. But it's a win for the community that he acts like a good corporate citizen.
Very responsible.
And here you have this major traveling exhibit. It's been all over the country.
Yes.